My name is Sarah. I've been married to my husband Jimmy for 10 years. My son James is in the second grade of elementary school. James is a funny and cute boy. Jimmy and I raised him with love from the bottom of our hearts. The elementary school that James attends is small, and there are only 3 classes per grade. The number of people was about 20, and there were some children together from kindergarten. For this reason, there are many acquaintances among the guardians and frequent socializing. However, Jimmy was so busy with his work that he could hardly attend school events. Few of the parents knew Jimmy. Oh, Sarah, could it be your husband who came to visit yesterday's class? Hello, Maria. That's right. He is usually busy with work, so he rarely participates in school events. He happened to have a day off this time. Oh, I see. I always thought James had a handsome face, and even though he's still in elementary school, I guess it was inherited from his father. Is that so? Thank you. Is your husband about the same age as you? My husband is 3 years younger than me. I'm so jealous. But there's only a 3 years difference, so it doesn't change much. Oh, just having a younger husband isn't enough. Is that so? What's his name? You mean my husband's? It's Jimmy. Jimmy! His name is so refreshing and lovely. I'll let him know. I'm sure he will be glad to hear it. Please tell him about me. You said he was busy. What kind of job does he do? It is web design, I believe. Sounds like a difficult job. He must be very smart and educated. I don't know much about his work. When I see him bring work home, it looks really difficult because it's full of technical things. I see. You should be proud to have a high-spec husband. I never thought of my husband as high-spec, but even though he's busy, he takes care of James when he's at home. I think he's a good father. With that look and that kind of job, it's hard to believe he also does parenting. I'd like to make every father in the world understand his struggles. It makes me happy to receive such compliments. I really envy you. Hey, if you don't mind, can you tell me Jimmy's number? Number? What will you use it for? What, you ask? Nothing in particular, but in a small school circle, I think it's worth getting to know each other. Look, I'm a single mother, and I'm in need of a man that I can talk with about certain things. I see. Then I'd like to discuss it with my husband first. In this day and age, helping each other is important, right? So I don't think he will reject my request. I hope to hear back from you. I felt an indescribable, eerie feeling. It doesn't matter if I think too much. No matter how small this school circle is, giving out my husband's contact information might not be a good idea. Originally, I hardly talked to Maria. We exchanged greetings when we passed each other, and the kindergarten our children went to were different. That's why I couldn't help but be skeptical about this story. However, Maria's obsession was worse than I had imagined. Hey! When will you give me Jimmy's contact information? Good morning, Maria. I'm sorry, but I haven't spoken to him yet. It hasn't even been a day since you've asked. But I already waited for a day. I think it's rude to make people wait too long. I'm sorry. I'll ask when my husband comes home tonight. I have something I'm a bit worried about. Worried about what? If you ever need a man's hand, just let me know. Only then can you talk to my husband. If you contacted my husband, who can hardly participate in school events, he probably won't reply immediately. And that might be really annoying for you. So, you can't give me his contact information? I don't think there's much difference between asking me directly or contacting my husband. What do you think? But that's your opinion, right? I wonder how it would be as a person to refuse my request without even asking Jimmy. I don't think there's a problem. That's right! I understand the feeling of wanting to have such a handsome and good-natured husband all to yourself, but as I said yesterday, I think we also need to help each other. If you say things that aren't very cooperative, you might lose respect from other parents. Thank you for the advice. It seems that you can't be convinced unless you get confirmation from my husband. I'll try to ask him tonight. I have no problem with that. Well then, tell me by 10 p.m. tonight. After that, I plan to go to bed because it's bad for my skin. Okay. Why do I have to adjust to Maria's convenience? I was a little irritated, but I don't want to get into a fight here. I had no choice but to explain the situation to Jimmy through text. He couldn't think of a reason to refuse, so I ended up giving Jimmy's contact information to her. However, Maria was a more troublesome person than we thought. Hey, Sarah! What's wrong, Maria? You know, Jimmy hasn't responded to my text. Didn't you hear anything? I heard that you texted him, but I don't think he has read your message yet. He is busy with work and can't return calls regularly. I'm sorry about that. If it's urgent, I can talk to him instead. That doesn't make any sense, because if I ask you, you'll say unnecessary things to him. I don't think I will, but if it's an urgent matter, I'll let him know. Then ask him to go out with me on the day after tomorrow evening. I have somewhere I want to go. Go out with you? I want to go look for new shoes for my daughter Canna with him. Canna shoes? For what reason does my husband need to go? Men know more about shoes, don't they? I'm not too sure about that. I never thought that my husband knew a lot about shoes. James and I always go shopping together. If you ask a store clerk, they will gladly give you advice. I still want to go with Jimmy. But why? Kenna wants to feel like her father is there once in a while, right? Excuse me? As a mother with a child, you understand, right? Or maybe not, since you have such a wonderful husband. It would be impossible for you to understand the feelings of a single mother. I'm sorry, I still don't know what you mean. Why does my husband need to be Kenna's father instead? I'm not saying that anyone can do it. It has to be someone I know. Someone you know? It was a few days ago that you met my husband for the first time, right? Since then, even though you texted him, you haven't heard back from him. I don't think you know much about my husband. But I know that he's a good person just by looking at someone. That's why I know Jimmy is a good person, and I won't stand for anyone else. Even if you say so, I think it's unreasonable on a day-to-day basis. The day after tomorrow is too soon anyways. I hope you understand that my husband is busy. Your role is to somehow persuade him, right? Why does it come to that? It's decided because I'm a mom friend. You understand, right? Let's cooperate with each other. Even if you say that, I don't see any benefits in that proposal. Benefits? What are you talking about? Are you participating in socializing with the parents while thinking about that? Jimmy is such a wonderful person. I wonder why he chose a cold-hearted person like you to marry. I don't think you need to go that far. And if you don't like my idea, you don't need to force yourself to date him. Are you sure you want to say that to me? I'll stop inviting you to parent gatherings. If you tell the story to everyone and the majority think that you are right, I have no objections. James will also lose his friends. This doesn't involve my son. We shouldn't involve children in disputes between parents. Do you understand your child's feelings? Don't look down on me like that. I don't think we can reach a conclusion even if we talk about this any further. I'm ending this conversation for both of our sake. I said what I wanted to say, but the truth is that I regretted it a little. I think that what Maria was saying was strange from the beginning to the end. After all, troubles between parents, who are few in number, can cause trouble for those around them. I regretted not standing my ground. However, due to a certain incident, I could no longer say such a leisurely thing. Hey Sarah, what kind of things are you teaching James? What happened? Didn't you hear anything from James? Looks like you guys aren't talking with each other, huh? James is out with his friends right now, so I can't ask. Please tell me what happened. James told my daughter not to take his father. Don't you think it's rude? How did this situation come to be? I had something to do at school, so I went to pick her up from school today. Then, by chance, James was nearby, so I told him that James' daddy was a wonderful person. Then James proudly said, "My daddy's cool, isn't he?" That's why I said that. I also want to marry Jimmy. Did he really say that? Do you have a problem with that? I don't think a child will notice a remark like that. Of course they will notice that. James may have taken your remark seriously, and even involving your daughter in this, I think she keeps quiet so as not to surprise my son. Such a big deal. He'll forget about it while he plays with his friends. Please don't tell James any more jokes or weird things. What's so weird? I'm not bad at all, though. It's just too frightening, and trying to get me out of the parent meeting? In the end, the majority of people asserted that you're in the wrong, and you already promised not to get involved with James, let alone my husband and I. Are you going to sue me? You're just all talk. I don't understand what's going on in your head. Can you please stop treating me as a weirdo? Being a single mother is hard. What's wrong with pouncing on a nice man that appears in front of you? The problem is that the man is someone's spouse. And also for Canna, her mother shouldn't show such an insane appearance. I don't remember being insane. Anyway, I will continue to do what I want from now on. I'm finally getting tired of Maria, who can't understand anything I say. And how dare she say such a thing to James? I can't help but think she's crazy, both as a parent and as a woman. At that time, I firmly believed that I could not leave someone like Maria unattended. Just when I was wondering what to do, good news came. Do something about it, Sarah! What are you talking about? Canna kicked me out of the house! Excuse me? I don't think Canna can do such a thing. Why? It seems like he thought I was bullying James. What? After I said that to James at school, it seems that James consulted with Canna. Consulted? James said, "Will Maria steal my father from me?" I can't believe it. But then, why did you get kicked out of the house? I live with my parents. Of course, it's not a bad thing to live with your parents, but didn't you tell me you were raising Canna alone? Well, yes. Canna ended up talking to my parents. About how you were aiming for my husband? That's right! It's also a pity that Canna got hurt in all this. It goes without saying that my parents will get angry after hearing the story, right? My phone was confiscated and even the text I sent to you was seen. So Kana didn't kick you out. Your parents kicked you out after hearing the story. Yeah, basically. It doesn't matter, but I need you to help me. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know what I can do to help. It would be nice if you apologized to my parents. Excuse me? Your parents were misunderstood, weren't they? I have no obligation to help you. It's pretty cold of you to say that. I can't think of any reason to be nice to you. In the first place, how do you make excuses after our texts were seen? I've been at a hotel since last night. I can't live like this forever. I'm in trouble if they don't let me come back home. I was rather surprised that you waited all night to respond to me, but I can't help you. You have no choice but to discuss it with your family. No matter what I say, they won't listen to me. Even Candace said she doesn't want to be with her mother anymore. It's sad that your daughter would say such a thing. Right? I don't feel sorry for you though. Because of your actions, your daughter hates you and you have no place to live. Isn't this a good time to think about what you've done? Do you understand that I've lost my home? Besides, I can't stand being hated by my own daughter. I wouldn't be able to stand it if my own child hated me, but I will never help someone who treats my family this way. Sarah, please! I won't think about taking Jimmy anymore. Please forgive me. Even though Jimmy is actually ignoring you, I can't easily forgive you for saying that to James. Don't say that! I don't have any money. At this rate, I won't be able to stay at the hotel for long either. I don't want to become homeless. You need to learn your lesson. Anyway, I have no intention of helping you. I think that being disowned by your parents and being disliked by Kana is self-deserving. I'm sorry, I have nothing more to say. Wait a minute! Are you really going to leave me like this? Hey, Sarah, please reply. Please, Sarah! Maria seemed to have been forced to experience hotel life for about a month. Although she later went home begging for forgiveness, it seems that she is still hated by Kana. I didn't see Maria at school events until next year. By the way, I set up a time to talk with James. He looked relieved when I told him that his father would never go away. Don't worry about it, Jimmy, I told him, and now we have more family time together. As a result, it became an unexpected savior for our family. Through this experience, I also vowed to myself that I will become a stronger mother.